Alright, so this is a bit of a different setup. Excuse my voice. I have allergies for the first time in my life, and I'm kind of, ignoring it the best I can just because I don't want allergies. I'm too old for it.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm not too old for it. Anyways, long time no see. It's been like, I want to say 2 months since my last video. I just got lazy. This video specifically is going to be about the idea of hype moments and aura. Now, if you don't know what that is, there's a famous meme going around of Will Smith and iRobot where he asked the other robot, "Y'all got any good writing?" "Nah, but we got hype moments and aura." And he's like, "God damn." And that's kind of how I feel about like every piece of everything that I consume that's kind of new.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Ooh, fun about this video, I have a notebook. Yeah, popping off. Let's go.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
How do I feel about hype moments and aura? I don't know. I wrote some notes down. Let's see what I got. So, I actually wrote down a list of examples of hype moments and aura, and specifically what I found in them, at least the comic book ones, was that they're all trying to do something a little different. For example, like there's this run of Batman. It's not really a run, it's just like a mini series of Batman by Frank Miller and Jim Lee called All-Star Batman and Robin. Now, as a boy, I was like, this shit is fucking gas. It was so cool. The artwork is amazing. To this day, I'd say the artwork is pretty great. I'm not even pretty great. It's Jim Lee's artwork. It's fucking amazing. But like, from what I remember as a kid, the story was like, whoa. I was like, what the fuck? What's wrong with Batman and Robin? They're cool as fuck. There's a scene in it where where Robin hits Green Lantern right in the jugular, and like he can't breathe, and Batman's like, bro, I think you just killed him. But in the same vein, in terms of like hype moments and aura, the book is like one big thing of that, if that makes any sense. Like they ain't got much good writing. Like Batman uses like a slur. I don't know if I'd say maybe slur's the wrong word. Batman, he uses like a derogatory term. He's like bullying Robin psychologically and mentally, but he's also faking. He's like, I'm the fucking Batman, bitch. Like, what the fuck do you think this is? And I swear to God, like in that kind of like attitude too, he's like, look at this fucking. He calls Robin a ward, by the way. Like he says like, be still, my ward. And Robin's like, what the fuck is a ward? Like, what are you talking about right now? Very kind of bizarre story, but like it kind of speaks to my whole idea that like the key points honestly are just like, from the little research I did, it felt like every time there was a hype moment or I don't know, aura, someone was aura farming, like he's fucking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
My whole life is consistent. Everything I do, from what I eat to when I sleep, to my recovery, to my loved ones, everything's consistent.
It being earned felt a lot better. Now, what do I mean by that? Endgame is like the easiest example of that. Like, we had to fucking sit through 25 movies to get to that portal scene. And then like, if you watch it by itself, like, I'm not ragging on the MCU, by the way. I love Endgame. I literally love every MCU movie. I won't say that, but I love most MCU movies before Endgame. Or like Endgame and before, if that makes any sense. After that, it all kind of subjective. But Endgame, even though the movie in a vacuum is not the best movie ever, let's be real, but like, fuck my life. When that portal scene came on, I was like crying. When Captain America got Mjolnir, bro, I was a kid in a fucking candy store. I'm not saying like all aura and like I'm not saying like all hype moments in like comics or like media like have to be earned. Like I feel like anime, and I'm speaking from a lack of experience, I would say the only animes I've ever watched are like dark and dreary ones, or like Dragon Ball Z, because like that was my first one as a kid. Like I remember watching fucking Berserk because I found it on DVD. But like I feel like a lot of times in terms of anime, like you'll see like people like watching like Jujutsu Kaisen and Hunter x Hunter and be like, yo, that shit is gas. But like when I watch it, I'm like, yo, these fights are crazy. I don't care about the characters. And that's more of like a matter of opinion. For example, I just started reading Mark Waid and Waringo. I don't know his first name. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, though. Their run on Fantastic Four, and I've only gotten to the first issue, but like some comic books do this thing where like they'll like do a mission statement. It's almost like a thesis. Like I'm sure movies and TV shows do it as well, but like I'm so locked in on comic books right now that like I can't help but be like, oh yeah, comic books do this thing a lot. But like comic books will do this thing where like one of the issues will be like a mission statement, for example, and so this journalist is following around the Fantastic Four, and by the end of the issue, the whole problem with the Fantastic Four right now is that they're not fresh. Like, no one's buying their merch. Like, I don't know, like some meta analysis on like them as characters. And by the end of it, the journalist who's following around is like, brother, trust me, if you write about the characters, everything else will follow. And he's so right on the money. I won't spoil too much of this run because I know a few people who will watch this. Yeah, my boys. To tie it back into the Fantastic Four, when you get into Jonathan Hickman's run of the Fantastic Four, there's a scene where Johnny Storm has a villain literally on a leash, like the fucking meme of GTA 5 that they do with like Ronaldo and Messi or whatever the fuck on TikTok. It's literally that before it came out, and my jaw's on the floor, as if like this shit's happening in real life. But I honestly think I wouldn't have reacted like that if it wasn't for the fucking whole other book that I had to read before that even happened. Yeah, honestly, in the same vein, that's why something like Wonder Woman snapping Maxwell Lord's neck in Infinite Crisis doesn't hit me as hard as something like Johnny Storm doing what he does. I don't know, it's like in issue like 5 of an event. Because of that, I feel like it plays into like the unearned aspect. Wonder Woman as a character, I wouldn't say I have the best read on. I haven't read enough, but like I know she ain't just out here snapping people's necks.
Kal-El, no.
That's fucking crazy. Even with the context of why she did it, that shit was nuts to me. In the same sense, though, in something like House of X, Powers of X by Hickman, again, sorry to fucking Hickman it up this episode, but by the end of the first issue when Magneto is like, yo, yeah, we're your new gods now, bitch. While it was the first issue, you have so much context for like what these characters are doing and why they would be doing it, like just off of history, which is what I mean about the Wonder Woman thing, because like that's bad characterization, but because of Hickman's good characterization of Magneto, I'm like, oh yeah, of course Magneto would say some shit like that, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy, that's hyped, that's hype as fuck. He was aura farming right there. That was literally the definition of aura farming, and he did it right. Every time I say aura farming, I feel like a child. Because I'm a 25-year-old man saying aura farming, but gang again. There are also like weirder aspects to like the whole hype moments and aura, in the sense of like something like a One More Day. If you don't know what One More Day is, it's a run in the mid 2000s for Amazing Spider-Man that basically destroyed fan appeal of the whole book. Basically, everyone hates Amazing Spider-Man now. Like everyone has stands, but like for the most part, when people talk about Amazing Spider-Man, they talk about how shitty it is. And this is kind of like what kicked that off. What I mean by that is, basically, Aunt May... But in One More Day, after, shit happens, Peter gets the black suit back, the symbiote suit, because I don't even remember why. But he goes up to Kingpin in prison, and I shit you not, he grips him by his skin like he's wearing a fucking t-shirt. He grips him and goes, brother, I will literally kill you if you ever do anything like this again. I can do it right now with my web shooters. I will murk you. And I was like, that's hard. So like that kind of goes against my whole point, because like I hate everything about that run, but that is hard as hell. And then you guys, I'm like, Bendis is Daredevil. But this example is probably my favorite example of the bunch. Now, the reason I say that is because I needed to read 79 issues of this run before getting to this point. Basically what happened is at the end of the run, Kingpin makes his final play against Daredevil, back to Kingpin, and he's basically like, oh yeah, here's all the evidence for some shit. I know of it, Elektra knows of it, and he knows of it. And there's one other person who knows of it. And Daredevil on the rooftop with Elektra and the New White Tiger, and I think Black Widow's there too. Goes, so who the hell is the last person? And then he flipped the page, and It's just he catches a card on Elektra's neck and he goes, never mind, I know who it is, because it's Bullseye. And I'm like, holy shit. Bullseye only showed up in a few issues. I think he showed up in like 5 or 6, but like 5 or 6 issues of a 79 or like an 81 issue run, and then he shows up at the end. Of course I was like, holy fuck, I thought we were done with you, bro. It puts such a different like mood. It changes the mood basically from like, I'm wondering what the ending is, to like, holy shit, this is about to go down like crazy. Bendis gives you like these moments of like Daredevil bugging the fuck out, and they only ever happen, honestly, like he'll bug out at Kingpin or like at like a situation that's happening because like his identity is exposed. But when Bullseye shows up, he starts bugging the fuck out. He's like, everyone get the fuck out of the room. Everyone get out of here. Leave Mila, fucking Foggy, get out of here. Natasha, get out of here. Like anyone who's in the room, anyone who's in the vicinity, he is tripping. He's like, everyone needs to leave right now. I'm going to lose my marbles. This is so bad. Everything's bad. My life is bad. I'm like, bro, just chill out. And then you jump to moments like that where like, you know Bullseye has already killed Elektra before in the past. Like, I don't know, it's pretty common Daredevil knowledge. And then right then and there, he goes for it again. No preamble. And he catches it. I'm like, man, yeah, he's right to trip. Because if it wasn't for him, like, Bullseye would just be like, I mean, it would be bad for everyone involved. But like, once again, super, super earned. I like worked for that thing, and when I got it, like I felt like $1 million. I want to reread it. I was just looking at like the book for my notes, and I was like, man, that's so good. Same for the Fantastic Four. When I was looking at All-Star Batman and Robin for my notes, though, I was like, oh, this is silly. Not like silly bad, but it's silly, like, it's not what it's not what the Batman. It's not what Batman would really say or do in terms of like historical writing of him. Not to say like, people can't try new shit. That's kind of my first point, which is that they all kind of tend to come from something like a fresher or newer take, or they're trying something new, which, I always commend, outside the box is kind of always my favorite thing. But like, even then, something being outside the box and something being like not even controversial on purpose. That's not even the right word. I think another thing is like, no one really cares. Like I care, but like, I don't actually care. Cause like, I consume what I want to consume. In terms of like I wrote down the desensitization of cool. I guess more so what I mean by that is like, not that it takes a little to impress a casual viewing audience anymore, but like, I feel like back to the anime thing, like I can't really relate, or not relate to the animes. That'd be crazy. But like, I can't relate to the hype or anything because of that fucking, well, what I wrote down exactly is the thrill of the chase. It feels like you're going down 2 different avenues, and like, one of them is like a TikTok, which is fine and like makes me laugh and something, and then one of them is like a movie, if that makes any sense. 2 hours long maybe, and then like maybe 50 seconds, maybe like 10 seconds, and like that's good for its own thing. But like, the hot word is slop right now. You're not supposed to consume so much slop. So like, I think the thrill of the chase, while it's like, yeah, it like speaks to the idea that like, oh yeah, we earned this moment. Like, oh my God, I feel a part of a journey. Also, I feel like it works your brain a little more, like you're trying to think back as to like, why is this important to me? Why is this important in the context of the book or the character or the movie even? Like, just like having that still allows for like hype moments and aura, but like also good writing and like, engagement in terms of like an idea or something. Not to say like, I mean, All-Star Batman and Robin is engaging in the idea of like abusive, like not even abuse, but like PTSD and like what that can do to someone, and if they do that to someone else, what that will do to them. I mean, Batman, when Robin hits him in the jugular, starts tripping. He's like, bro, you can't do that. Like, we don't kill people. But like everything Robin's seen, he's seen this psychopath roam around the streets, beat up randos. Like, the Batman from All-Star Batman and Robin is the Batman on Twitter. Like, the Batman that beats up the mentally ill and shit. But like, because of that, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh my God. And then there's, speaking of earned and thrill of the chase, when it's something that you have to like sit through and read for a while, or like watch for a while, like a TV show, or even listen to for a while, like an album, like I was just listening to this new album, and my favorite song on it It's like 2 minutes long, but the transition into the song is so good that I will actively listen to the song beforehand to get to that transition. Something like Animal Man by Grant Morrison is kind of similar in that regard of like, it's like a meta story about environmentalism and also like the meaning of like writing characters and like what that can mean for them and like free will and all this shit. But at the same time, like, because of that, it's very meta in the sense of like, you know, there's something going on in the background where us as readers are aware that these are characters, of course, but the characters are not aware that there are readers. There are moments that hint at the idea that like they know that they're in some sort of comic book. The Coyote Gospel issue is like the best example of that before like the big stuff happens, such as in issue 18 where like you're reading 18 issues of this, by the way, like of a book about like a fucking no-name hero, and it's good. It's like it's literally my second favorite comic book I'll say of all time. It's my second favorite comic book. But by issue 18, when he's like, yeah, I need to learn the secrets. And the speech bubble says, all right, brother, turn around. And he looks at me and says he can see me. I was tripping. Of course I was. I was bugging out. What do you mean? He's staring at me. I'm real. You're not real. And that kind of speaks to the whole rest of the book too. I won't spoil, but like, just back to that idea of like, it was earned. Yeah, you know, I like the shit I like. I think that's kind of the point of these videos, is just talking about the shit I like and engaging in it, and then hearing about the shit that like maybe you guys like, or like what you guys want to hear me talk about next, or I don't know, but like I like fucking talking about this random bullshit. Now I can kind of just pontificate. I know that's what I'm doing anyways, but I got a new tattoo, Jerry. Yeah, Tom and Jerry. All right. What else? Oh, I've grown a little bit of an affinity for like floppies. If you don't, I feel like I've talked about them before, but the floppies are the single issues. But come on, tell me not. That's not. What are we talking about? And also, this one is so fire. Fool. He's a fool. Been cropping some t-shirts. Lots of plants. Bought a lot of plants. It fucking destroyed my room basically. But I really do like making these videos. I'm just like lazy. The audio might suck dick and balls. Sorry, but also I don't care. Because, you know, I'm really just starting. But if it's good, also, you're welcome. Yeah.
I find that when this rage cannot stay buried in me for one more second, that a primal scream is the only satisfying release.